Hello everyone, my name is Multra Enoch and we are going to revise together PH 110 under static friction. The question is coming from the topic called dynamics. So the question reads, let 35 degree by the critical angle of an inclined plane on which a block of 10 kg block of wood slides down, taking G to be 9.8 meters per second. Determine the what? Coefficient friction. So whenever you are answering any question from dynamics, it's very important to sketch. So we start. So you sketch the what? The free body diagram. So they were saying it was on an inclined plane at an angle of 35 degree. So at an angle of degree, so they are talking about a wood that was sliding, and the wood was 10 kg. So one thing that you should bear in mind is that there are certain forces that act on the same object when it is inclined. So there is the force of gravity, which is supposed to be mg, and then there is also the straight force acting that side, is supposed to be mg cos theta. Then there is the force that goes that side, mg sin theta. Now one thing that you should bear in mind is that there is also another force acting upward called normal force. Now since it is static friction, meaning there was a force that was opposing the motion, which is static what? Friction. So from there they are saying we find the coefficient friction. We find the static coefficient static friction. So you're going to extract this part there, the force that was acting on the wood block. So there was this force mg cos theta, and then also normal force. There was that side friction, static friction I mean. And then there was mg sin what? Sin theta. And then the same wood block was 10 kg. So what you are going to do is this. So bear in mind to say that under second law of Newton, so summation of forces in x-axis should be equated to what? Mass times acceleration. So the force that was making this wood block to slide was mg sin theta. Now the force that was opposing was static friction. It was static what? Friction is equals to what? To ma. Now bear in mind to say that this static friction can be found by multiplying static friction mu s times normal force. Now if an object is in static position, so that normal force is equals to what? That force. So our normal force is equals to mg cos theta. So static friction is equals to mu s m mg cos theta there. So that static friction is going to be replaced there. So it's going to be mg sin theta minus ms mg cos theta is equals to what? Ma. So from there we're going to make this one the subject of the formula. So it's going to be mg sin theta. This one will cross the equal sign to become negative. Ma is equals to positive mu s mg cos theta. So divide both sides by mg cos theta there by mg cos theta. Since you want to find what? Static coefficient static friction. So coefficient static friction is equals to mg sin theta minus ma over mg cos theta. So static coefficient static friction is going to be the mass, which is 10 multiplied by 9.81 sin theta. Our theta, that is just an angle, which is 35 minus mass 10 times the acceleration should be 0, because that object was sliding downward, meaning only the acceleration due to gravity was the one that was influencing the motion, or an object to be in static equilibrium. So from there, that is mass 10 times 9.81 cos 35 degrees. So when you simplify everything, you're going to obtain. So if you compute everything on the calculator, you're going to get 0.70 as your coefficient static friction. So we can now proceed. It does know what SI unit. So the second question, they are saying we calculate static friction force. So we are going to get that formula that we made for static friction force, which is static friction force is equals to what? Mg. Sorry. Okay, it's fine. Cos theta mu s. So that is ms is equals to what? The mass 10 times 9.81 cos 35 degrees times what? The mu that you have calculated, coefficient static friction 0.7. So just compute everything on the calculator. So we are going to obtain 56.3 Newton. So these were the required solutions. So please don't forget to subscribe and like this video, so that whenever I post the new video, you're able to see and watch. See you in the next video.